Do you know what are the 5 core steps to scale a company? Hi, I'm Daniel Marcos. I'm the CEO of the Growth Institute, and I'm an expert on scaling companies, and I've coached a lot of the best CEOs in Latin America and the world. And today, I'm going to give you the 5 core steps that I use in every company that they ask me to help them scale. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 core steps, and I'm going to go through the 5 steps and explain why this step is so important and what's my recommendation on how to do that correctly. Before I go into the core of this video, please subscribe to this channel and put the notification button so you could get all these videos the fastest you can. It will help me a lot to be able to get this great content to many other entrepreneurs like you, so we could really help the entrepreneurs of the world be able to scale their impact and reduce the drama. So please help me subscribe to this channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. All right, now let's go into the 5 core steps of scaling any company. First, core step number 1, scale a company. Make sure you're solving a relevant and a big problem. Peter Diamandis, the founder of XPRIZE, always tells me, Daniel, if you want to do a $1 billion company, solve a $1 billion problem. The bigger the problem, the bigger the market, the more your company is going to be able to scale. So make sure that you really help build a really big pain. And here I'd like to tell the case of Uber. I hated taxis before Uber. I used to get to an airport, it was the yellow cab, the taxis were really old, the drivers were mad, they don't speak English. It was very uncomfortable to drive in a cab. So I hated to drive in cabs or ride in cabs, and I always rented cars. Today, with Uber and Lyft, I don't have to rent a car. The experience is way better when I go in an Uber or a Lyft. And what happened when Uber and Lyft start getting into the market? The pain was so strong, like me, that I hated using the white cabs. So many people hated using the yellow cabs that we all went into Uber and Lyft very fast. And when Uber and Lyft got into trouble, not be able to get to the airport and the rest, who defended them? The clients defended the companies to make sure they could run with it. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the pain that you're solving, the faster you're going to be able to scale your company. So step number 1, make sure you're solving a really big problem, and a problem that people really hate, that they want to overcome. Core step number 2 to scale your company. Have a very clear strategy and a competitive advantage. I'm impressed how many companies, they go to the market and they don't have anything different. If you do everything that your competitors, why are you expecting different results? You want to be able to have something that is unique in the market, that is different, so the clients, the community will prefer you and they want to come and buy from you. So never start a company if you don't have a competitive advantage that you're going to be able to win. And that's part of your strategy. So first you identify the problem, the pain, and then identify or develop a strategy that will solve that pain better. As an example, here I love to talk about Southwest Airlines, the airline. In the US, when Southwest started, of the 100% of the people living in the US, just 20% of the people flew in planes. The other 80% moved themselves by buses. So Southwest said, hey, why am I going to fight with the top 20%? And there's United and American Airlines and Delta and all the airlines are fighting for 20% of the market. I'm going to convince the other 80% of the population to, instead of moving themselves in a bus, now they could move in a plane. And that was the strategy. They understood that 80% of the population were not using planes and convinced them to go by plane. And of course, that made them one of the fastest growing stocks for 30 years in a row in the US, because they completely changed their market. But the strategy was very clear. How, instead of fighting for the 20%, let's just convince the other 80%. If we convince just 20 out of the 80, we're going to be bigger than every other airline combined in the industry. So here you have to develop a strategy that is aligned to the pain that you're solving, and you need to have a competitive advantage to be able to win over that market or that client. So what are the minimum components of a strategy? First, the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. What's the why of the company? And of course, the why has to be aligned to the core problem that you're solving. 2, what's your competitive advantage? What's your X factor? How are you going to win in the industry? What are you going to do different than your competitors to be able to win in the industry? 3, long-term goals. Where are you going to go? Are you going to go there? Where are you going to go? You have to define the blue ocean strategy or the direction of the company. Brand promises. What did Southwest promise to their clients? Lots of flights, lots of fun, and a lower price, the 3 LFs that they call. So what are your brand promises? What does McDonald's brand promises? The food is ready when you get there. It's always fun for the kids, and it's going to taste the same in every restaurant. So make sure you have your brand promises, you have your core values, and you have very, very clear priorities to execute your strategy. Core step number 3, build a strong team. You need to have enough capable leaders to execute your strategy. I'm amazed of companies that they believe having an amazing strategy, it's everything. No, it's nothing. If you cannot execute that strategy, your strategy is worth nothing. It's worth zero. Identify an idea or a strategy and be able to execute it better. How are you going to execute it better? Have a better team. So you have to have a strong team that is, first, aligned with the problem and excited to overcome that problem. 2, they complement each other, they really help each other, and then they work together as a team. And for me, rule number 1 is to have a leader in every department that is much better than me in that area. I cannot tell my head of sales how to sell more. I wish my head of sales teaches me and tells me the strategy of how to sell more. So my job is to always surround myself with people that are way better than me in each of the areas of the business. If I do that, they're going to build an amazing team below them, and my job is to help them work as a team. If I have the best person in finance, best person in sales, best person in marketing, my job is to make them work as a team. As an example, if you remember the movie Top Gun, I'm a huge fan of the last Top Gun movie. For me, the most important part, and I was discussing this with Vern Harnish, the author of Scaling Up, a couple of weeks ago, is when the team is playing in the beach and the commander comes and tells Captain, said, "Hey Captain, what are you doing?" And they said, "My boys are playing on the beach." He said, "They should be training, they're going to go to war." And he said the most important thing that they need to do before they go outside to the war, they need to operate as a team. So the job what he was doing for them playing football in the beach, he was them becoming a team and now playing as a team. And now that they're a team, they're going to be able to compete out there or fight out there as a team. You have to make them work as a team. So your job is bringing the best and then make sure they play as a team and they play well with each other so they could play as a team. Before I go to the next part of the video, subscribe to the channel, push the notification button so next time I get the next video, you get it first so you could really learn this material and implement in your company and be able to scale your company faster with less drama. All right, let's go to the rest of the video. Now, core step number 4, invest in marketing and sales. And this is sometimes a joke, but people that really put a lot of focus on the program or the product, they're so enamored to the product that they believe people are going to fight for it on their own. And I was like, no, you have to market. You have to take it to the world and let the world know that you have a great product or service. Imagine I build an amazing chocolate. This is the most delicious chocolate you've ever tasted. Do you think it's going to sell on its own? No. I need to give it to some people, for them to taste it, for them to tell other friends and family. So once you build a great product, you have to sell it. So your job is to build a strong messaging, marketing, and sales process or strategy to be able to take your product to market. Core step number 5, implement a disciplined execution. 1, you identify a problem. 2, you identify a strategy and a competitive advantage of how to serve that problem or that market. 3, you have an amazing team with you to be able to do that. 4, you have a strong marketing and sales strategy. Now you have to execute everything. You have to make that a reality. And the best companies that we've seen, they know they have all of that and they are focused in executing the strategy. They know that the only way things are going to happen is if they make things happen. So they have very clear priorities. 2, they have very clear KPIs to set expectations. Hey, my objective is to go out and knock in 40 doors. And today I'm going to knock in 40 doors and tomorrow I'm going to knock in 40 doors. Do you think it's comfortable and nice to go and knock in 40 doors every day? No. But the best companies, they have the discipline to go and knock in 40 doors every day. Or I'm going to call 10 potential clients every day. And you call every day 10 potential clients. So you have to first set priorities. What's important? Now you have a plan, strategy plan, now you have to execute it. 2, what are the KPIs that you're going to measure to make sure you're executing correctly? And that's going to give you an expectation from your team of what each one needs to do. And then 3, a rhythm of meetings to how to be able to review that priorities, review the data, review the KPIs, and make any adjustment and communicate with the team. Those are the 3 disciplines of execution. You could learn from them on Scaling Up. I learned them from Vern Harnish in his book Scaling Up, in the 3 disciplines of execution. Very, very simple, but it's hard to do execution. It's hard to stay focused in execution all the time. So the best companies, they say, okay, we have a great program, we have a great strategy, we have a great team, now we're going to execute. And they're very, very focused, and they make sure they bring their strategy to life. And the only way to do that is through execution. Okay, now you know the 5 core steps to scale your company. Very, very simple. I hope I didn't say anything that is new to you. They're all very, very simple and very practical to implement. So start implementing them, build a scaling up path of your company, and most importantly, be disciplined in executing that plan. If you do that, your company is going to scale, and you're going to be able to scale your impact and reduce the drama of the operation. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you got a lot of value from this video. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great value, and look forward to see you in the next video. Bye.